Hello and welcome to today's fast video, which is being recorded almost 6 full hours before the US opening bell. It's called S&P 500 breaking, and it broke. That's a reference to yesterday's video where I told you it's a trap. It's a trap and client gains on the long side had been protected, all of them. So, I invite you to review Monday's video as well, where I dive into the tariff dynamics and what it means and how it's going to be reflected in bonds and currencies. Such was the 4-hour picture chart of S&P 500 yesterday, which is some 21 hours ago being recorded that video. Sideways, perilous position, rejection to go higher, but we got one more push and it allowed for fast exit on client gains, and this is how the picture has changed now when it is today pre-market. Note as well the nonchalant approach to China Boeing escalation yesterday, that equities did not take a side. The same thing, however, can't be said about ASML earnings. It had been a miss. Next in line is Taiwan Semiconductor, and that means that the greater picture, clarity about where semiconductors stand, will be available pretty soon, and the picture is not looking pretty. So don't be sucked in by the modest 0.35% Nasdaq upswing, tech upswing within S&P 500 yesterday. Be more mindful of discretionaries going down and staples underperforming as well, with quite some question marks over communications leaders, and I'm looking at Meta. I'm not looking at Netflix right now, just to make it clear. So much for the sectoral perspective, where finance crashed, big banks crashed. However, and this is the point that I had been making lately clear in those videos as of Saturday's very extensive ones. One has to be positioned ahead of time for an appropriate headline to strike. And yesterday's headlines, I was clear to clients within the intraday updates, were leaning on the bearish side. So I was so reluctant to pursue fresh long opportunities, and conversely advised clients about expecting more of a downswing, with sideways being the best possible resolution. However, I favored more, as I talked with several of them one-on-one, that it can easily reach well over 100 points to the downside, and we are slowly getting there already. Today pre-market, US is going to wake up to an unpleasant red bearish gap. Thank you for liking these videos and subscribing to the channel. They go up, as you can see, at unpredictable times during the day, so make sure to have notifications on to be served new timely content whenever it goes up. Such is the hourly chart, and you can see clearly when exactly ASML announced. And we are kind of trapped in a range within the euphoric Wednesday's highs and the despondent lows right before that. So much for where I see markets going in the short run, and frankly it does not look as any kind of a tariff respite, but markets are taking it in their stride. Well, equities markets, because yields are reflecting that range-bound attitude, trading bias as well, however you call it. The same can't be said about US dollar, which is again pointing lower. And having reviewed my Sunday's article where I'm diving into the explanations of what is actually driving these tariff decisions, what is the ultimate arbiter. You know what I think about bonds and currencies, which is what's the clearest winner? The conundrum. It's very easily answered. It's gold. And on Sunday, trading signals clients had been clearly cautioned that any kind of a risk on turn in equities would not dampen too much gold. And here you can see how the bid is clearly nicely continuing higher. So more to come, more gains for clients. Hooray! Such is the daily chart, which shows already some kind of a consolidation looming, consolidation ahead. Pay close attention to what I had been featuring for clients' premium, whether they are trading signals or stock signals, when it comes to market breadth. I was pointing to that constellation as a clear fly in the ointment, because the longer term moving averages, those percentages, have barely budged. My joint page will help you select what's right for you based on what and how you trade. Combine the daily analytics together with intraday channels for real-time updates and the greatest punch.